I'm Danny Chronix and I'm finally watching Solo Leveling 5 years after reading the manhwa and forgetting most of it. People have been hyping this anime for ages. It even won Anime of the Year and I still didn't watch it. The hype may be dead, buried and decomposed, but the story's just starting for me. Goal 100 views before my next upload. We open with a bird's eye view of an island, but not just any island. This thing is surrounded by enough military hardware to start World War III. Destroyers, cruisers, the whole navy is here. And what are they doing? Just standing there watching things explode. Like bro, Call of Duty isn't gonna play itself. One soldier says, why don't we jump in? And the captain was like, we can't hurt these monsters, only the hunters can. Only the hunters? They brought the entire Pacific fleet here just to spectate. Then we finally see the monsters and for some reason, they're moving like they're in a gymnastic competition.
You would think someone would shoot them mid-air, right?
Nah, these clowns just stand there. Eventually, they do attack the ants. 0 damage. Like not even a paper cut. And the mages, looking like they're gonna do something, dump their entire mana bar and still get folded. And here I thought these hunters were supposed to be cracked. That captain hyped them up like they were in-game material. Instead, they're getting bodied harder than extras in a disaster movie. Just when it looks like a full wipe, boom, a new guy shows up. Dude's holding a mace that looks like a fully eaten apple, then casually heals a dying guy like it's no big deal. But these ants, they really love jumping. At this point, I'm convinced they just want to be on camera. Too short to be in the shot otherwise, so they leap every chance they get. Bad move, cause healing apple guy's teammates pull up, stabs every ant mid-jump. Then another dude runs in, palm strikes an ant so hard it probably landed on the next island. Left hook to the next, roundhouse kick straight into the dirt, slams one to the ground like it owes them money. Wraps it with another roundhouse and a palm strike like he's got a highlight reel. But then he hits this pose. Bro, you are not him. Man's posing like a cat girl doing a cosplay. If these guys are so good, why did they even send those discounted NPCs in the first place? Just to pad the body count? Then someone has the nerve to say, let the S-class hunters handle it. Yeah, genius, that should have been the plan from the start. You guys were just here to die dramatically and trigger the cutscene. Anyway, they beat the little guys and of course, that's when the big ones show up. Cat, Tank Top and Lightning Bro get to work. Cat Guy just rips the ant's teeth out then casually yeets it through like it's a javelin. Then 20 more ants pop up, but these S-class hunters, they're built different. Not like those bumps we saw earlier. They powered up fast and probably off-screen the rest because we don't even get to see it. Instead, we pan over to another dude and all I can say is he got that drip. Way more style than Tank Top Catman. He fries the small ants like they're popcorn and the big ones show up. And what does bro do? Tells his background NPCs to attack. Excuse me? Did you not just see what happened to the last squad? They couldn't even handle the tutorial enemies and now you are throwing them at the boss fight? Bro, I swear, these guys won't even crash one of those ants. But sadly, we don't get to see them get folded because we cut to the prologue. Now the prologue starts yapping, talking about how portals randomly pop up and how regular weapons can't do shit against the monsters inside. Just like those background characters we saw earlier, both useless. And just when I thought it couldn't get worse, look at this goblin, smiling like he's the final boss or something. 2 seconds later, boink, he gets taken down by some random dude with a sword. Chat, I don't think he realizes he's literally a tutorial mob. Then we get the rundown on the power system. Ranks like S, A, B, C, and E. S is the top tier, E is the bottom. But here's what I don't really like about solo leveling. You can't train to get stronger. No matter how hard you work, your power is basically locked in. Like bro, that's so lame. The only reason this whole thing works is because guns and nukes don't. Otherwise, we'd send a missile through the portals and call it a day. Now it's 3 years later and honestly, these new guys, they look like filler characters from a show you forgot you were watching. That's when the MC shows up. His name is Sung Jin-Woo and apparently he's an E rank. And the moment he shows up, these other clowns immediately start talking shit, calling him the weakest hunter humanity's ever seen. Bro, I'm positive none of them could even handle one of those ants from earlier. But they're out here acting like they're top tier. Meanwhile, Jinwoo's just out here casually pulling a B rank healer. Bro got that off-screen riz. Anyway, they go into the dungeon and now we get some exposition about why people even go in. Turns out it's mainly to grab essence stones, which are apparently super valuable. Jinwoo actually managed to grab one, then immediately commits the cardinal sin of battle, getting distracted. If it weren't for the healer girl's warning, bro would have been deleted. But hey, at least his reaction time was decent. His knife cracks just from blocking. Bro, either that blade is trash or the goblin been hitting the gym. Like, this dude's been a hunter for how long? And he's still rocking dollar store daggers? If this is the best weapon he can afford, he should honestly be flipping burgers. Probably could get a better blade from a Happy Meal. At least that one won't snap on impact. And he's dodging the goblin like I dodge doing chores, and goes in for the stab like it's gonna be some clutch move. It doesn't even scratch the clothes, and the knife just straight out breaks. So what happens? The goblin gets a free stab, like 5 inches deep. If I were him, I would honestly trade weapons with the goblin. That thing looked clean. If that one background extra didn't jump in, Jin-Woo was 2 frames away from being a flashback photo in someone else's character arc. And then he does the dumbest thing possible. He pulls a weapon out. Bro, everyone and their grandma knows you bleed out faster if you do that. This should be basic hunter knowledge. How is bro making these mistakes? If the healer girl didn't exist, he would have ascended to heaven 10 minutes into the raid. They finished the cleanup and realized the raid barely gave them anything. And then they find this creepy ass cave. So it's basically a DLC from the main dungeon. So they're thinking how hard a DLC can be compared to the main game. Earlier, they hyped up the raid leader, and hey, they weren't wrong. Guy takes one look inside and goes, yeah nah, clearly the smartest person in the room. But these 2 buffoons start guilt tripping him into going deeper. So the leader throws his hands up and puts it to a vote. Half of them are saying yes, and the other half don't want to go. Now it all comes down to one guy, Jin-Woo. And what does he do? He says yes. Bro, you can't even beat a goblin without divine intervention, and now you want to walk into a sketchy double dungeon cave? The only reason he's even alive is because of that healer girl. And honestly, who signed off on giving this man a license to fight monsters? It's like the girls want the dungeon's body count to go up. Then we randomly get to these 2 background characters stealing a purse from some lady. Then we see a blonde girl in the middle of the street, cap on, eyes down, trying way too hard to look mysterious. Suddenly, flashed up, she grabs the purse mid-air with a backflip. Totally unnecessary but clean. Then she just stares at the purse like it's her long-lost sibling. Turns out she's an S rank, super famous. People crowd her instantly. Then when she leaves, 2 more backflips. At this point, she's not even fighting crime. She's oro farming. Not once, not twice. It's over. 3 times she pulled this entrance exit flex. Anyway, back to the main squad, still trekking through the dungeon. Meanwhile, the chairman of the Hunter Association is out here giving a speech like, be humble and afraid. And literally seconds later, the squad opens the dungeon gate. These guys have no reason to be this confident, walking in like they just booked an ancient Airbnb, saying shit like, this place is unique, alright. They're wandering around, inspecting the place like they're gonna leave a review.
Love the high ceiling, very atmospheric.
Then the healer girl goes, I just saw the giant statue's eye move. Yeah, that's not a feature, that's a refund request. They're done. Cooked. Served to the gods. And right on cue, slam. The door seals shut behind them. Would have been nice if the host mentioned that in the listing. One of the dudes immediately tries to dip. Yeah, I am out. Clearly, he hasn't learned the golden rule of cursed Airbnbs. If you are the first to move, you are the first to get turned into an example. The dungeon said, you thought. And one of the big statues just straight up deletes him. Gone. Instantly. No refund. No deposit back. The whole party crashes. And Jin-Woo, he turns, locks eyes with the biggest statue in the room. The statue looks right back. Now they're in a staring contest, and our MC is now winning. Because immediately after, he starts narrating about how he's stared death in the eyes many times. Translation, bro already gave up before the first blink. Right then, he gets a flashback. This is the perfect time for Jin-Woo to reflect on every L he's ever taken. We're supposed to feel bad for him here. This dude has spent more time in the hospital than actually fighting. All his money going to healthcare and trash daggers that couldn't even hurt a mosquito. Why even bother? He's saying he's doing it for his mom and sister. Bro, you are not helping your family. You are stress testing the Korean healthcare system. At this point, it's not even about the money anymore. He's just doing it for the love of the game. Also, what the hell happened to your shoes? I'm honestly more curious about the story behind those things. Like, what kind of situation does that to a pair of sneakers? Then he's out here saying, job takes more than it gives. Then why are you still doing it? Go take a nap, get a safer job, and buy shoes that weren't chewed by a dog. But despite all this, Jin-Woo has survived for years, the weakest hunter, and somehow he is still breathing. So maybe he got something special. I haven't seen it yet though. Right after I thought that, his survival instincts kicked in. Jin-Woo finally makes a smart call, tells everyone to get down. And honestly, if he hadn't said that, the entire team would have been eviscerated on the spot. Now our boys mentally collapse.